There's no better centerpiece for your Christmas table than a beautiful glazed ham. I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to glaze a ham using fresh, juicy peaches and just a little bit of rum. So the first thing we're going to do is preheat the oven to 180 Celsius or 160 if you're using a fan-forced oven. Now remember, this ham comes fully cooked, so all you're really trying to do is gently re-warm it and get that gorgeous caramelized glaze. It's going to be just so delicious. Now, to prep the ham, you need to remove the skin, but not the fat. So you need a small, sharp knife. This is how you do it. You turn it over and you run your knife right down the center of the ham. Don't cut too deep because all you're trying to do is pierce the skin and go through it. Then what I do is cut around the leg of the ham, just like that. And the reason we're doing this, of course, is there's no meat up here, so we leave that skin on because it presents really nicely. Once you've joined it up with itself, just leaving the ham standing up, you can use your fingers or a sharp small knife like the one I've got here and just get it started just like that. And then it should pull away quite easily. If the fat does start coming with the skin, just grab your knife and just gently go across here, cutting it ever so slightly. I always find it's easier to do this in smaller sections than trying to do the whole thing at once. Next, you're going to score the fat. So take a small knife and using it, go along in each direction, just cutting sort of 1 centimetre away from the next cut. You do it in both directions, so you create a nice kind of a diamond pattern on the fat. Now don't worry if you can't see the fat, because of course you're not going to. Once it actually starts to bake in the oven, it'll open up, render down a little, and then you'll get a beautiful pattern on the ham. Okay? Now you can put your ham in the baking dish with the carrots and the celery and the onion. These veggies are going to add extra flavour to the dish as it cooks. Next, what you have to do is cover the entire thing with foil and bake it for about 1.5 hours. Remember, we're just warming the ham gently. So using 2 pieces of foil so you get a really nice seal, you cover it up and now it's really well protected so we can actually start warming it. It's going to take about 1.5 hours. While the ham bakes, you can make the peach and rum glaze. First off, grab a saucepan and over a medium-high heat, melt some butter. Add some onions and cook for about 4 minutes. Next, we're going to add our peaches, star anise and cardamom. So you let that cook down for about 7 minutes. Okay, now for the liquid ingredients. I've got some rum and some white wine vinegar. You let that come up to the boil and cook for about 5 minutes or until it's reduced by about 1/4. We also need to add some brown sugar, which is going to give that delicious, lovely caramelization on the ham. So you stir it for about 4 minutes until all that sugar's dissolved. Then I'm going to add just a little bit more vinegar once I've turned the heat off or removed from the heat, of course. Give that a stir. That last little bit of vinegar will keep that real freshness in the glaze. Then I let it sit for about 10 minutes to let that little star anise do its magic. That'll infuse into the glaze. It's sat for about 10 minutes, so I can now take out that star anise. Pop that over there. So once you've poured the glaze into the blender, you're just going to blend it until it's smooth. Woo! Fantastic. Our glaze is done. Now, if you want to get ahead, you can actually do all of this up to 3 days before glazing your ham. Just let it cool, cover it, and then store it in the fridge. So you get the ham out of the oven. So we remove our foil. Beautiful. And then you just generously brush the whole thing with the glaze. It's quite therapeutic, really. Looking good. Now this is going back into the oven and I'll need to keep basting it every 15 minutes or so with the glaze for 1 to 1.25 hours. Oh, ho, ho. Now that's looking good. Now, let it rest for about 20 minutes. So I've taken it out of the roasting tray. Once it comes out of the oven, of course, don't throw away the juices from the baking dish though. There's lots and lots of fantastic flavour in there from the glaze and those vegetables as well. So just hold back those veggies and we're just going to pour off that juice. Lovely. So once you've poured off those juices, then what I do is get the rest of my glaze and I stir those roasting juices through the glaze, and you've got a really lovely sauce to serve with your ham. Ripe peaches, a hint of rum, beautiful and caramelized. I reckon this is the best ham ever. Now for the full recipe, see the description below. Why not finish your feast with my peach and mascarpone smashed pavlova recipe? And to make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos, click here to subscribe.